I need a fucking Yas Queen meal.
Jesus.
God, that pisses me off.
From Burger King.
Or are we gonna go get those this summer?
Speaking of things that piss me off, let's talk about the movie Loqueesha.
Okay, there we go. That's a better one.
Great.
Yeah, not too bad.
What's Loqueesha about?
Well, Lucas, thanks for asking. Loqueesha is made by Jeremy Saville, who is he a comic?
Yeah, he's like an older comic.
Like a quote unquote comic.
Like he's like Brandon, kind of. If Brandon never got popular or was funny.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the best like analogy. Okay, he's a comedian who wrote and directed and starred in and produced this movie called Loqueesha, where he plays this down on his luck guy named Joe, who is like a bartender that gives really good advice and everyone loves him, except he's a divorced dad, so he's got that going for him. And then he pitches a radio show for this ad that says minorities and women encouraged to apply, which like never happens, but he applies, he doesn't get it, even though he's like good at the show because he's a white guy. So then he creates this character named Loqueesha, who is a like stereotypical like sassy black woman, and he does the voice of her and creates this famous radio show in LA. Everyone loves her, but then he starts to have an identity crisis of sorts.
I don't think
it
it's
solves
LA.
all his problems.
It's not LA. It's Pittsburgh.
What?
It's Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it's Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, so the line between him and Loqueesha blurs.
And
Yeah.
he has a Fight Club moment.
He has a Tyler Durden moment.
Yeah.
He does. Noah, I think you had the most salient point following the movie on your Letterboxd when you reviewed the movie and said, I like how the actual villain, or the villain of this movie, is an actual black woman.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's like quite a bit to like dive into with this movie.
That lady does drop the line, "You're a better black woman than I am,"
Which is a rough one.
And it's even better knowing that only one person wrote this movie, and it was like a white dude, and it was the white dude who was getting told that.
Yeah,
Do you think he planned
kinda
that out?
nailed it.
He is a auteur.
Yeah, dude.
He is.
Jeremy Saville's gonna be the one guy that gets 50.
Well, I think he did like the and Quinn, you wrote about this, how like the trailer was just racist enough to like do all the free marketing for this movie, so like people like us watched it.
Yeah, it's so okay. So because the first 5 minutes of the movie, he goes on some super like a 30-second impression of just like, I think it was like an Indian guy, and it's just so like distasteful. And then, but he must know that it is like that he's doing it just to get like attention, because like he's using the right words to like talk about like transgender like sexual reassignment surgery, and it's like you don't on one hand just be casually super racist and then be super like woke in your terminology at the same time. So he's like obviously just trying to get free promotion from his racism. And like
There was the one like kind of like transphobic joke at the beginning when he shows up to his like ex-wife and she's like, I've got news for you, and he's like, oh, you finally get this exchange?
Oh yeah. Very
like 2004 like Big Daddy era.
No, this has been vaulted for a while. It has to have been. That's the only reason. Right?
Well, that's what it feels like, such a time capsule when you watch this.
Like this is like
It's like 2018.
This is pre-Superbad. This is like early 90s to like 2010. Like this is like a time capsule.
But like so many people ask him like do you maybe like the other sex or whatever? Like so many people ask him very kindly like, are you maybe gay?
Oh, yeah, so many people ask him if he's gay.
So if this was like 20 years ago, it'd be like, what are you, fucking faggot?
Whoa.
That's what I'm saying.
That's not big dog energy.
That's what I'm saying. That's what they would say.
Big dog is not a thing.
That's the
weird
dog
abides.
That's the weird
that's
dichotomy.
Another one.
It seems like it's from a previous era, yet somehow it is respectful most of the time.
Well, I don't want to
except for the part where he's a black woman.
I don't want to speak for our sponsor, Big Dog, but I'm pretty sure Big Dog is gay. I don't want to speak for them. Well, I mean,
The big dog is
Well,
absolutely
he
not
does
gay.
always want to go fishing with his pals rather than fucking his wife.
exactly.
So
Regularly talks. Yeah, I don't know.
He doesn't know it though. That's why he uses alcohol.
I'm trying to think of like a big dog short for Loqueesha.
Loqueesha, it's just big dog in blackface.
It's a chocolate lab.
Yeah.
Oh no.
No, a good one would just be like literally just having Big Dog on, pointing at you. Yeah, buddy, I'm a black woman too. That's it.
Well, okay. You know what's the thing I thought was like the most funny about Loqueesha was like how everyone just thought Loqueesha was like amazing. Like no
The
one
worst voice
other than
ever,
like
too.
some racist had anything bad to say about
But
her.
even Loqueesha saved the racist. Even
That's true.
That is true.
Very true.
However, did
The
you
fucking
guys,
the guy being like, "What do you know about being a white man?" He's like, "Actually, I know a lot," and like, just like Jesus Christ, like,
like
It's so cheesy.
damn. Did you guys notice the big "I hate my wife" energy?
yeah,
His
yeah.
wife was a
right?
total Karen.
Exactly. And what is that having him schooling?
What?
Yeah, he paid the 13 grand for it. Like it was all on him to buy this kid's school, even though I'm sure he's paying child support. Right?
I don't know, man.
Well, I think that was
he's-
just like supposed to show that like the character is just like, oh yeah, like he's brilliant, but he's always down on his luck and the world's against him. It was just kind of like this
Especially
set
bitch of a
that up,
wife.
I guess.
Especially his
well,
bitch
it's
of
like
a
the
wife.
classic like divorced dad arc, right? Like it's like you get to see your kids every other weekend. They don't like you, and you also like are just the most oppressed person in the world. And like
world, yeah.
they have like this warped. I'm not saying all divorced dads. I'm just saying it like the genre of person has like there's like this mentality, and it is very much like the mentality that you see on that flyer when it's like minorities and women encouraged to apply. That it's like, oh, we're like the forgotten man.
Yeah.
Our kids don't call us.
I like
Yeah.
that his kid hated him, and he like really the only thing that changed was the money. That's it. Like money will make you money.
Yeah, his son literally says, "Dad, I've been liking you a lot more now that."
Which rules? That just see you can buy your son's love. Show
Well,
that bitch Karen
he went
what's
from
up.
being like sad divorced dad to Xbox dad.
Buy
Yeah,
your son's love.
exactly.
That's what's up. That's dope.
He went to be an Xbox.
And
Dad.
his mom was like a vegetables mom, you know, like
Oh yeah.
Joe would not
wait,
make his
what's
son
that?
eat a carrot.
How would you describe a vegetables mom?
Just like the opposite of Xbox dad, right? Like we're gonna
Like very strict mother.
you're
very
gonna come home,
overbearing.
do your you're gonna have carrots for a snack,
Helicopter
have
parent.
dinner, and like you can have like a like Oreo for dessert and go to bed.
Huh.
And no video games tonight.
Promptly at 8. No video
Damn.
games on weekdays.
Joe would let his son stay up, especially once the money came in. Joe would let his son stay up till like 1 a.m. on a school night playing Halo.
No, Joe.
Get the
Joe.
Mountain Dew, Code Red.
He would give him code red. Joe, I would want you to drink in my place. Just know, I would feel safer. Or not Joe, whatever his
would
son,
like bring
son's
his
name is.
son into the bar and be like, "Oh, it's bring your son into work day."
Oh. No, Joe
Forces his son to have a black woman persona as well.
And then like his son meets the like drunk guy that's really horny over black women.
Yeah, that was a weird scene too.
Yeah, there was a scene in the movie where Joe is talking about how he has this conundrum about how, oh shit, I have to pretend to be a black woman to be on the radio. And he's talking to this local drunk that's at his counter
Local king.
who is very horny over black women.
Extremely.
Extremely horny. He says, I wouldn't mind a little bit of brown sugar. You know what I'm saying? And then at the end of the scene, we learn he's married. So just king shit, right?
King
Joe would take his son to Thailand and he would do the classic line, pick any one, they all cost the same. And feel like a boss.
Damn.
That's a Joe move. That's a Joe move.
Jesus.
Goodness.
So
Damn.
okay, so here's the thing that like while I was watching the movie, I didn't react like too much. I kind of was just like annoyed the whole time.
Uh-huh.
But then there was every time he was like on air doing the Loqueesha voice, and like the shots are just like of him talking. Like I don't know what else he would show, right? But like it's just of him talking, doing this like terrible, not even good like impersonation of a black woman,
What is a good
and thinking
impersonation?
no, that's not the topic. And then, but but thinking like this man like chose to write this like situation and direct it and then put himself in it, and like it's just like self-flagellation like for an audience. It was like I was so uncomfortable.
No, the whole movie is just like so like he's just jerking himself off the whole movie. Because he's just like, look at how smart I am. The advice I give is on the level of a good psychiatrist. And I'm giving it out for free on the radio as a black woman.
But it totally just reads as like, here's my armchair psychology that's like basic common sense. Like, oh, your boyfriend cheats on you? Maybe don't date him anymore.
Yeah.
And then all the other characters are like, holy fuck, he's a genius.
Damn.
Dude, I like how he gives himself pussy in the movie. That's pretty dope.
Yeah. And then one of my favorite parts in the movie is when the villain, the actual black woman, takes
Who-
over the show.
We should
And
give
it's-
context for that, right? That she is like meant to be like Loqueesha when she has to make public appearances,
Yeah.
but never does the radio show.
Yeah. But like she takes over the show because he's going because what's his name again?
Joe.
Joe's going through his Tyler Durden moment and he doesn't do the show anymore because it's so taxing on his psyche. So then the black woman decides to take it over and is like, whatever, I can do it. It's not like it's that hard, which like it isn't. Like she's right, but apparently she's just too mean and cynical to be able to do it. So while like on the show, a caller calls in and is like, you know, Loqueesha, you don't sound the same, and you're just mean to people. The old Loqueesha gave us tough love, and like, and I'm pretty certain the person that called in to say all that was Joe himself because it sounded exactly
Dude,
like him.
all of the voices just sound like him doing impressions of people.
This movie is just...
Yeah,
I wasn't the only one that thought that, right?
That line is a little telling. That this movie is like a love letter to like all the divorced dads out there who just like children don't actually like them anymore, but they think like I tried to give him tough love, and then it just didn't take.